What's up, Patriot fam? Happy We the People Wednesday, and congratulations to Comey walking into courtroom today for his arraignment. It is arraignment day.
We should have brought umbrellas. Arraignment day. Get it? Get it? Bum.
But we better get a mugshot. That's all I'm saying. We better look. The MAGA folks. We need a mugshot. We need to frame that and put that on the wall. You know how when you go into a Latina house and you got Jesus and then you got the president? Like that's just
my God.
my abuela's house. Just my abuela's house. That's it. When you walk in.
And there's like you're like lighting candles and there's candles lit underneath.
Yeah, but like, Mother Mary, be like you know what I'm saying? The rosary she got from the Pope the one time he came to town. But
the one time he came to town. Allie, oh my gosh, I think a bunch of people just spit out their coffee. That was hilarious. Well,
and thank you so much for joining us today from wherever you are watching us or listening to us from our Spotify audience. Thank you. We love you so much. We appreciate it. Guys, make sure you please subscribe on our YouTube. We are trying to get to 1 million subscribers, you guys. We cannot fund this all on our own. We need some help. So if you love the content and you love what we're doing, please subscribe, like, share, and follow.
Absolutely. We've got a packed hour for you guys. Of course, we're going to talk a little bit about what's taken place in Chicago and Portland and some of the fallout there. Also going to talk about this character, Jay Jones, right? He's running for Attorney General in Virginia. Some of the things he's said and that he's been documented saying and texting and putting out there is really pretty violent. And there's been calls now for him to resign or for him to step down. Also, we're going to talk about Turning Point USA because they continue on the college comeback tour. So we've got a lot packed, including some giggles at the end. So let's go ahead and open that mic.
Taking back our freedom, back to where we started. We're wearing our red hat tonight. It takes more than just a feeling. Oh, better be believing, and America's gonna be home.
What do you do when they try to cancel you? MAGA Nation, we cancel proof. My red hat stays on. My red hat stays on. You know I love God, but in Trump I trust. November 5th, he gon' ride with us. Our red hat stays on. Our red hat stays on. It's the mayor of MAGAville, the RNC King. 2024, freedom gon' ring. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. I'm still fighting for each one of you. And keep your red hat on.
All right, welcome to Open Mic with Allie and Michelle. Make sure that if you're not already, follow us at Real Allie Leger, at Michelle Posey, and at Open Mic Ladies. And you can find us at openmicladies.com as well. Allie, how's your Wednesday going? I know I saw you were in Spaces last night. So was I with Trump Tuesday. Lots of fun. I'm sorry, I'm going to mispronounce. Mark Naughton. Is that his name?
Yeah, Mark Naughton.
Yes, is back.
That is my homeboy. And Chad is back from Portland. Thank goodness he's safe.
Yes.
So far, Nick is too. He's been out there with Benny Johnson, but we had several people. We listened to what's going on, boots on the ground in New Jersey with this governor's race kicking off there. Lots of registration talk with Scott Pressler. We went down. What other lanes did we go down? I kind of had to do some other phone calls during that, but
and what was nice is
for you to get good information though. So
yeah, and hearing the firsthand accounts from Portland and the fact that they may not even be going to Chicago because Chicago's they're actually getting enough airtime seeing what's happening in Chicago. They don't need the independent journalists there, but also seeing that Nick Sorter is very well represented now. So I think you're going to see probably some legal backfire coming back towards the Portland police in the city of Portland for how they treated him. I want to make sure that we remember yesterday, obviously was the and I guess we can say anniversary, where we reflect on what took place 2 years ago, October 7th, 2023, with the Hamas infiltration into Israel and the over 1,100 innocent people that were slain, literally in the worst ways. Many were hostages that were then taken back into Gaza, which is how you know the two-party state doesn't work. But in the streets of New York City on October 7th, yesterday, this was what they were saying in our streets. Take a listen.
We did not act enough. No. We did not act enough. We did not act enough. Repeat after me. We did not act enough. We did not act enough. If we acted enough. If we acted enough. The headline behind me would read. The headline behind me would read. Gaza has been liberated. So our work is not done. We must show up. We must show up. Stronger than we did the first October 7th. Louder than we did the first October 7th. Make it clear that we are not going anywhere. We will keep fighting until Palestine is free. From the river to the sea. Within our lifetime. Make some noise.
So again, every time they chant from the river to the sea, they are talking about no Israel, an entire nation gone. That's what they're advocating for. This is in New York City, Hallie. This is crazy.
You can't write this stuff. Like, the irony is wild. It is absolutely wild. We have groups of terrorist supporters, apparently, that live here in America, that are occupying a city that was hit by a terrorist attack, shouting about how they didn't act enough during Israel's 9/11. Like, what?
Yeah, that they didn't do enough. Listen.
Exactly. I have no words. Like, my fighter spirit is, I'm just ready to go. Like, that's just.
Well, and I can understand the military person in you. I think most Americans feel that way. Listen, back in, I don't know, it was 2005, 2006, 2007, the exact year escapes me, but Benjamin Netanyahu really pulled all Israelis out of the Gaza Strip. And he said, I'm letting the Palestinians, which again, that's not a country, it's not a state, it is a group of people. He's going to let them have Gaza. Okay, what ended up happening is that Hamas, the terrorist organization, was somehow elected to power in Gaza. So
wait, that's like giving the town of Los Angeles over to the Bloods, and the Bloods become the mayor, and they become the city council, and they become the county commissioner, and they become the school board, and then they relinquish and squash all freedom, and they just elicit terror everywhere they go. That's what this is in Palestine.
And again, this is in the streets of America, downtown New York City, on the anniversary of the slaughter of 1,100 Israelis, most of them young people. And he's saying, not, we want to coexist with Israel. We want Hamas out of Gaza so that those of us people that identify as Palestinians can live peacefully with our families. That's not what he's saying. He's saying from the river to the sea. He's saying we do not want to live in a world where Israel exists on our soil. How is this not this is so crazy. This is so crazy to me.
Trump is literally trying to make headway in these negotiations with ending this whole war that started 2 years ago. And not one person that was at any of these protests that took place across the globe, because it wasn't just here in America, it happened literally in the UK. It's happened, you know what I'm saying? So it's not just here, it's happening over there as well. Nobody there has a sign saying, we pray for peace. We hope that Trump, is able to conduct peace in our region. we just want peace. It's literally the same thing that happened in Portland when the Patriot Corner, the Patriots, the veterans that came over with Nick Sorter, they went over to where Antifa was and were like, we need to negotiate peace. They started negotiating, talking, whatever. And then some dumbass decided to light a flag on fire, knowing it was going to trigger the veterans. Like, they don't want peace.
No, they don't want peace. And this is the proof. Part of what he said there, I'm not sure if you could clearly hear the chant. He declared that they will, well, presumably carry out attacks here on the United States. He said, we did not act enough on October 7th. The bloodshed of 1,100 Israelis was not enough for them. He says we will show up stronger than we did the first October 7th, and we'll do it on this soil.
That's
them's fighting words. I don't listen.
And the fact that it took place outside of Fox, have you seen Fox cover this?
No, nobody's covering it. You know what else they're not covering? They're not covering when PSL, the Party for Socialization and Social, whatever, the PSL, you know what they when they show, liberation. When they show up outside school board meetings, they also don't cover that. What the hell are they doing at a school board meeting? They are everywhere. And again, if a group of people want to call themselves Palestinians, great. If you want to live at peace with your families, great. I don't remember seeing on the globe ever a state, a country with secure borders known as Palestine. It does not exist. And when Benjamin Netanyahu cut out a portion of Israel, waterfront property, and gave it to you, you elected Hamas, or Hamas overtook you, whichever you want to say. I know there's probably innocent people within Gaza, and our heart bleeds for them. But we didn't. You have a terrorist organization in charge, and you want you want to annihilate Israel. This is you can't coexist with people like that. And the money that is permeating into our country to push this, not only on our college campuses, as we've seen, throughout our airwaves. They own a lot of social media. They own a lot of stock in social media. They own the culture. And they're getting to where they want to get into the school systems as well. This is why we do what we do, by screaming it from the rooftops. Allie, this is why you need to go to a school board meeting. Go to a school board meeting and see if you see that flag outside anytime that there's a gathering.
There's
I bet you might be
literally
surprised.
a teacher that wore her Free Palestine jean vest today. And I'm like, Lord, I hope she means Free Palestine from Hamas. Because if she doesn't mean that, if that's not what she means, I have a problem.
And again, I would like for you to point to me where Palestine exists on the map. Can somebody do that for me? Can we go? Listen, one of the things that we've done it from the time of Jesus on forward, is been able to really track a map, especially in the Middle East. I need to know where that is. Because again, there currently is no state for Palestine. It is a group of people who have a right to exist. They have a right to live peacefully. Not saying they don't. But maybe get Hamas out of the area that Israel gave you. And here's the other thing a lot of people don't understand. If you listen to Benjamin Netanyahu tell this story, and I'm believing him because I obviously don't live in Israel, but I think he would be stupid to come out and say a bold-faced lie. People are going to fact check him. That much of the electric grid that still existed in Gaza after 2007, it was all still paid for and maintained by Israel.
I don't understand why the Palestinian people won't link arms with Israel to get rid of Hamas, because that's the only way they're going to find peace. Because, I mean, that's just logical. That's strategy. I mean, that's political strategy. That's like common sense strategy. Like, that just makes sense. Like, if we understand, guys, if we can come into a room together and be like, hey, listen, we understand that Hamas is a terrorist organization and they are literally killing you people and killing us. Why don't you guys lock arms with us so we can get rid of them? That's like getting rid of the bully. You can't give the bully more power. They become bigger bullies.
Because at the end of the day, if all you want to do is raise your families in peace without the bombing, hey, look what we agree on. I don't have to know anything else about you. We can agree on that. Let's do it. And you can obviously see that's not what's at play, because now we've got some of the largest countries in the Middle East. Nuclear powers of Pakistan and India are now coming to the table.
Together.
And they're saying, we get it. And you know what Hamas is saying? Oh, shit.
No.
They're all united now. It's kind of like within our own country. But they're all united.
They are there, but they've come here as well. And so now they're like emboldened here because we're like, okay, you have the right to say this, but you also don't have the right to incite violence or elicit terroristic threats. Like that's literally a terroristic threat. And last time I checked, you could be arrested and fined and jailed in federal prison for at least 10 years for that. So I don't understand why we're not enforcing laws that are currently on the books already. Like, yes, I support our law enforcement, but when you don't enforce the laws, I have a problem with you. My other point is that we are currently seeing this play out, right? We're seeing how Antifa is a terrorist organization. We're seeing how the police departments don't have the resources, and now is sending in our federal police, our National Guard, coming in to assist the local police departments to get rid of Antifa. That's literally how this is going, and that's how that should be played out in the Middle East as well, with Palestine and Hamas and Israel. Why are you two not linking arms together? I don't understand.
Well, and that's a good segue, actually, Allie, to talk about the violent rhetoric and the uptick, because not only is it on the streets of New York City, I mean, just really 24 years after we watched people from the same region of the world take down.
James Comey pled not guilty. Sorry, just that popped up.
He pled not guilty. Oh, my God. He must have the same, now, you know what? We're going to take the high road on that one.
And apparently geriatric protesters are outside.
No PSL flags?
There's signs. I can't see them. They won't zoom.
Oh gosh. Thank you, Allie, for keeping an eye on that happening live. Pled not guilty. Tell me that we don't have a two-tier justice system and that he still does not get it. Let's pivot a little bit to this Democrat who's running for Attorney General in Virginia. Again, Virginia, remember, in 2022 was a huge swing. It went red really because of parental rights. I'm not going to get to the video, Krista. If we could go to the still images, the text messages that have come out from Jay Jones. This is Jay Jones. First of all, y'all, don't send emails or text messages if you don't want people to screenshot it for receipts. I don't know. Somebody out there needs to hear that today. But here's Jay.
And your iPhone will tell on you. I'm just saying.
It will say, you just screenshot. Jay says, they say nice things about everyone. If you go down a little bit, he says, I will go to their funerals to piss on their graves, send them out awash in something. And the person that they're talking to says, Jay Jones. If I say Allie Marie, you know, it's like, you've, right? He goes on to say 3 people, 2 bullets. Gilbert, Hitler, and I can't read the other one because I need glasses. He said Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Spoiler, but Gilbert is, okay, so he keeps going on. The person reading these texts says, it really bothers me when you talk about hurting people or wishing death on them. Again, candidate for Attorney General in Virginia.
That's a radical, and he should not hold office. He should actually be removed from the ballot based on these text messages. Like, you should not be allowed to run with this kind of rhetoric.
No, it's no different than a school board member in Sarasota County posting a picture and saying all Trump voters are Nazis and white supremacists. Like, okay, well, given that you're going to represent constituents that 65% of Sarasota County voted for Trump, guess what? You now can't hold office because you think they're Nazis. You can say we don't agree. You can say I think they're crazy. But when you get to that point of really putting a target on their head and saying we're better off without them, would we not agree we're all better off without Nazis? Isn't that what we fought for? So you're saying you're better off without the Trump voters? Like, that is freaking huge to be saying that.
Yes, I agree. I agree with you.
Sorry.
I'm not even going to go down my tangent.
Well, take a look at this. The Fraternal Order of Police of Virginia have come out and said this is a letter that they addressed to the Mr. Jones.
Strongly worded letter. It's the best written letter.
She does the best Trump impersonations. I love it. It says it's aware of recent text messages. It has no place in a democratic society, they said. The men and women of Virginia Fraternal Order unequivocally condemn these violent text messages, and they're asking for him to withdraw from the race.
Yes, good. He should. So
cops. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just came across a video of like hundreds of people with a long Palestinian flag walking down the streets of New York. Guys, New York is I call New York home, y'all. Like,
I know
I
you
spent
do.
my
Yeah.
summers in New York, and
Mhm.
I'm really trying my best not to lose my Jesus. I, I, New York is home to me. And when I witnessed 9/11 sitting in my high
Yes,
school
ma'am.
classroom and not knowing if my family was safe or not, because I knew people that worked in that area. I had family members that would walk those streets close to where the attacks took place. I have family
Yeah.
and friends that have been to war because of 9/11. I have buried friends because of 9/11 in these regimes. And to see this play out in New York City, and to see these socialists and rise up and want to run for government, to see the AOCs and the James Comeys and the Democrats who sit there and they take the oath that our veterans take, that our military take, and they want to completely shut down the government and hold us hostage because we do not want to give them trillions of dollars to fund overseas projects that don't benefit America and will cripple veterans here in America and military here in America and our first responders and government contractors who will not see pay if they don't open the government on the 13th. Pisses me off. It pisses me off.
Yes. Allie, I think you just spoke for all of America there. Red, white, and blue. Like, it doesn't matter which side of the aisle. That is exactly the sentiment that most people, and this is why 2026 is going to be so interesting, because really the Democrat Party does not have a platform. They lack leadership. They lack a vision. They're always on the wrong 20% of the issue. This is a perfect example. Senator Tim Kaine, he's a Democrat from Virginia, reporters just rush up to him right there at the Capitol and said, hey, we just want to get your take on this. You know, you're the representative from Virginia. What do you think of Jay Jones? I mean, are you going to still support him? I know the audio is a little off, but take a listen to what Senator Tim Kaine had to say.
Senator, do you still support Jay Jones? You do. What do you think he should drop out of this race after those comments?
I just answered your question.
You have concerns about what you saw?
The comments are completely indefensible. I've known Jay Jones for 25 years, and those comments are very much out of character for him. So if I put the comments, which are clearly beyond the pale, against knowing this guy for 25 years, I'm still a supporter of Jay Jones.
I'm sorry. Hang on. Wait a second. Michelle, if you were to send me text messages like this, and I've known you for 25 years, girl, I've only known you for a handful, right? Like maybe 5. And even if I knew you 6 months ago and you're sending me these messages, I'm going to be like, baby girl, this is outside of your normal. Do we need to
Do you need help? Do you need some help? Do you need me to drive you somewhere?
Right. I suggest we get you a therapist, baby. Let's sit down and come on, sis. Like I'm not going to be like, oh, it's out of character. So I'm just going to not think about this. Like, that's how you end up in abusive relationships and can't leave, because you're looking at red flags like they're hot pink, babe. And it's not hot pink.
You can't live in a culture where you want to tell people to see something, say something, and then you can literally see something because they put it in receipts and text messages and nobody's doing anything. As somebody else who's an elected representative, it doesn't matter how chummy and that it's your bro.
Right.
If that tells me that you lack the ability to be impartial in certain things that you're doing. You're totally on board with everything Trump is bad, and I can't even see the plank in my own eye. Basically, is what that.
Right.
And yeah,
it's frustrating. And all of this
he could have been. If Kamala would have been elected, that would have been your vice president. Wow, so grateful we dodged that bullet. And let's just be clear: Jay Jones was not only talking about how he fantasizes about killing Republicans.
Jesus.
And their children.
Wow.
You go through the whole list.
When people show you who they are, believe them.
Amen,
this is a testament of character. When you have an elected representative who is doubling down on this kind of rhetoric and then sits there and talks to you on CNN and says, it's a both sides issue. No, it's not. You don't have text messages of Eric Trump saying any of this. You don't have text messages of anybody on the right. I don't care who it is. Far right, middle right, center right, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You don't have anybody on our side saying anything like this. Like everything that is going on right now really while it makes me angry, it makes me want to still 10 toes down fight for this nation.
It's a righteous anger that you have.
Even harder.
It's absolutely, and I think that's what's different about those in the America First movement. Just like you, Allie, people are resonating right now watching this with your righteous anger. And they understand, because we didn't go out and burn buildings and burn entire cities when they assassinated Charlie Kirk. Not just a political assassination, but really a martyr for Christianity, because that was his message. Don't mistake that. We didn't go out and burn things. That righteous anger just called us to action, which is why you see Turning Point growing across the country. It's why you see people like Allie and I, who have no spare time for anything, find the spare time to continually get involved in being active in the community politically. I want to forward a little bit, Krista, if you can go to. I want to skip. We all know about the Schumer siesta. There's a small clip of Trump just saying, basically there are going to be some more permanent cuts here in the next 4 or 5 days, is the way he worded it. So we'll keep an eye on that. But I want to go to his comment where he talks about the lack of Democrat leadership, and then we can talk about it. Let's roll it.
I'll tell you what, I'm getting calls from Democrats wanting to meet. I never even heard their names before, and they're claiming to be leaders. The Democrats have no leader. They remind me of Somalia, okay? And I met the president of Somalia. I told him about the problem he's got. I said, you have somebody from Somalia who's telling us how to run our country. She's from Somalia. He said, would you like to take her back? He said, no, I don't want her. Okay, you know who I'm talking about?
Oh, my gosh. No leadership. So I can imagine there are people down ticket of all the, for whether it's, on the Senate side, there's Democrats that are reaching out to President Trump, probably because they don't agree with Schumer. But this is what the Democrat Party has gotten really good at doing, is they all lock in behind what they're told to do. And it becomes this like bobblehead mentality. Nobody steps out of line. There's no individuality. As much as they claim to be the party of individuality, nobody dares to buck the status quo. And while that's worked for them in some ways, this is the downside of that, is that now you can't even break away from your party mentality for common sense to help your constituents. This is going to cost them in 2026, I think.
If we can get enough people to stay in their dang state and vote, instead of everybody leaving and coming to Florida, because none of y'all are fighting for anything. You're coming to Florida and you're not going to vote. You're probably not even going to register. You're not going to get involved. You're not going to go to any clubs. You're not going to go to any meetings. You're going to show up to rallies and then go home. You're not even going to do that half the time. You're just going to relish in the fact that you live in a free state of Florida and don't have to do any of the work, because the ones that have lived here have lifted it for you. They've done it for you.
Well, and let's be clear, Allie, to turn Florida from we were the swing state. People watched on election night. I remember watching. I think it was Barack Obama. It was when he won, and it was a bad night for me. But I remember watching, and they didn't call the race till they called Florida, because it was that important.
Yeah,
the way of Florida goes the way of the nation.
Forever. Right.
So the lift that took place here in this country, or in this state, actually in the state of Florida, to make it so red, can be duplicated across the country if people, like you said, would stay and fight. Don't come here, because I'm not saying don't come here ever. If you're coming here, are you going to be engaged in the fight?
Put your boots on.
Because you can't come here and go on another siesta like what Schumer's having right now. Love the president. We both do. We both wish him the best with success with the government shutdown. He's not going to let women and children go without, though. He saved the WIC program by what? Tariffs. The one thing that the left has been griping about forever just saved the WIC program. Take a listen.
Thank goodness.
Just breaking moments ago, more than $200 billion coming into the coffers in tariffs, and now we're learning where some of that money will go. The White House has just announced that the Women and Children Food Program will not be cut off while the government is shut down. Some of the money will go to make sure that program is kept up and running, according to White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. We will see you back here tomorrow with more of the story.
That's kind of good, right? Like, she's got full pom-pom view. I love that.
I do. Yes. I love this because President Trump cares about people. He cares about people of America. He cares about people, period. But his heart is here because he is the president here. He understands that we give a mandate November 5th. Okay?
You're so right, Allie.
And because of the Democrats and their policies and what is currently happening with them holding America hostage, he realizes that they're essentially trying to cripple America by their own, by doing this, by putting us in hostage. And so the people that suffer the most from that with these unintended consequences, or if they are intended, President Trump will not allow them to cripple under this. And so
Absolutely.
making sure that women and children have food security is very important. Making sure our veterans and our military and our first responders are paid for during this shutdown is incredible. It's an incredible feat for him, and I'm glad that we've done tariffs.
And we could show the dichotomy between of what good leadership and failed leadership looks like. I guess we could just look to our neighbors on the West Coast with Gavin Newsom. If you take a look, let's show the libs of TikTok post here. Gavin Newsom recently vetoed a bill that would increase pay for firefighters in the state. He approves $50 million to defend immigrants, illegal immigrants, but doesn't want to increase pay for firefighters. He won't even put water in the fire hydrants so firefighters can do their job effectively, but he will allocate, again, in their statewide budget, $50 million to defending illegal immigration. That's offering them. Do you get an attorney when you have a civil matter? If you got to go to civil court or even a divorce or whatever, do you get money? Well, illegals do if they have to defend themselves in court in the state of California. But again, no pay increase for firefighters. Don't come to Florida, though. Just stay there and fight.
Yeah, no, stay there. Like, everybody, I want to go door to door and be like, are you from California? Are you from California? Are you from California? If you're from California, you should go back home and save your state. Because
I love
what is happening to what is happening to that beautiful state there is it's unfathomable. Like
And when we say beautiful state, I lived there for a couple of years, and even though like the downtown area of Hollywood is just so gone, it's still kind of nostalgic. You can still see some of the good old times, old school Hollywood. But you've got areas like Temecula, Santa Clarita, like all the mountains.
Is beautiful.
It's beautiful, and it's like
Oceanside is beautiful.
Allie,
Monterey Beach is beautiful.
They had a photo shoot on Venice Beach, and I thought, oh, Venice, right? Like, let's go. Yeah. And it was all smelled like urine, with homeless encampments, needles in the beach. And multi-million-dollar condos that are waterfront. They have broken down RVs on the side of the street with their, put your coffee down and your eggs and bacon, please, with the sewer line from the RVs opened, like wide opened, into like a plastic tub. Yes, in California, Venice Beach, you pay $3 million for a 900 square foot condo, a waterfront in Venice, in California, and that's what you're coming out to. Yeah, like, come on. But you want to know why? We could bitch and complain. We could gripe and complain about it all we want. Sorry, Lord, forgive me. But you want to know why? Because they don't have voter ID. So you have no idea who's voting for what. Because I'll tell you what, we went everywhere from San Diego all the way up to the Capitol in Sacramento. And I had a hard time finding a handful of liberals. I mean, liberals. So
guys, Benjamin Franklin said it when he was asked, so what do we have here? He said, a republic if you can keep it. What does that mean? They've already fought for it. They set the groundwork. It was our responsibility to carry that baton forward. And now here we are, almost 250 years later, we got Hamas running the streets. We got Antifa running the streets. We got cops not doing their job. We have lawlessness all over the place. We have county commissioners and mayors and governors giving money to illegals while their citizens starve. We have Democrats that are completely holding American hostage because we won't fund their pet projects overseas, and we won't fund illegals' health care, and we won't continue the COVID spending. There's no COVID. Amen. There's no emergency. So why should we spend with the bloat that we had? Doesn't make any sense. That's what we have. That's what we have right now. And everyone is just like this. It's just, oh, what's the next TikTok dance?
The next shiny object. Absolutely. Guys, we're gonna go to a commercial break, but when we come back,
I'm a little frustrated today, y'all.
Well, and you're just gonna stay frustrated because the rest of America is, as we watch Comey, Allie's keeping an eye on that. We're gonna talk about what's going on in Portland and Chicago. So it's gonna get a little more, buckle up. It's gonna get a little more rough before we hit open waters. Be right back with more Open Mic after this.
From the heart of Marietta, Georgia, comes a tribute to the spirit of liberty. Liberty Cigars, where history meets craftsmanship. Each cigar tells a story. The Founders Collection honors the visionaries who shaped a nation. The President's House Collection celebrates the leaders who steered it. And the Naval Series salutes the heroes who defended it. Handcrafted with precision, each blend mirrors the essence of its namesake. From the boldness of George Washington to the elegance of Thomas Jefferson. Indulge in a moment of reflection. Light a Liberty cigar and savor the legacy. Discover your story at libertycigars.com because every great nation deserves a great cigar. Liberty Cigars, smoke the history. And don't forget to use promo code OPENMIC for 10% off your order.
Gold IRA companies are a dime a dozen, especially in conservative media. We vetted out 34 companies and chose Augusta Precious Metals.
With the lowest across-the-board spreads in the gold IRA industry, Augusta saves Americans thousands of dollars.
They are the only major gold IRA company that has zero complaints from their customers. Zero. None.
Augusta Precious Metals does not have commissioned sales reps, which means their goals are aligned with yours.
They were the only gold IRA company that demonstrated integrity and transparency without using gimmicks.
The informative one-on-one web conferences by Augusta Precious Metals answer all of their customers' questions before they make a move.
If you're ready to learn about protecting your wealth and retirement with gold and silver, request your free gold guide from Augusta Precious Metals today.
Visit patriot.tv/gold. That's patriot.tv/gold today.
Welcome back to Open Mic with Allie and Michelle. Buckle up because it is sort of a firebrand episode, but you have every right to be this upset about some of the things that are going on. We're obviously going to tell you to not sit on your best intentions, but make sure you get out there and let your senators know that we want to come out of this government shutdown. Do not negotiate with the Democrats. Let's reach out to our Democrat senators and just make sure that they're putting us first, the people first. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, she went in to have a meeting, Allie, with the Portland mayor. I don't think it went as rosy as we'd like it. Apparently, they're going to get back in touch today, but I think she kind of doubled down on him. Let's take a listen to her explain it.
I met with him and also the superintendent of the state police. I told them what we wanted. We wanted more security here at the building, a bigger buffer zone to keep our officers safe. We wanted to have their streets opened up again and not let the anarchists run this city anymore, that we would ask them to continue to back us up like we've been asking for instead of what they've been doing the last several months, which is just leaving our officers hang out to dry. The chief asked if I wanted to meet with the mayor, and I said absolutely. Came back and just met with the mayor, and I'm so extremely disappointed. He's continuing to play politics, did not commit to any of those promises, and said that he'd give me an answer by tomorrow. And I'm hopeful that he will. What I told him is that if he did not follow through on some of these security measures for our officers, we were going to cover him up with more federal resources, and that we were going to send 4 times the amount of federal officers here so that the people of Portland could have some safety. They could have some security.
We could bring it back, Krista.
We went and got a sex offender.
I mean,
really? I'll get back to you
tomorrow.
How about God bless Kristi Noem.
She held it together. They wouldn't let her in Chicago. They wouldn't let her into the police station to pee. They barred the doors from her.
See, and this is I think this
a lady's
is going to be hilarious.
Sorry.
this is going to be hilarious when I sit in the legislature in Florida. They are going to have a field day with my face, because what I don't say with my words, my face gives it away. Like legit,
subtitles.
I'm going to have to work. Right, my face has subtitles. I'm going to have to work on my poker face because I'd have looked at him like he was crazy. You're going to get back to, do you know? You're going to get back to the Secretary of Homeland Security tomorrow on whether or not you're going to actually do your job. Okay.
And yeah, and so local action makes a national impact. Are you listening? Are you feeling? Are you picking up what we're putting down here? This is a mayor. When's the last time you've really cared about your mayor in your town?
Yes.
You might want to. You might want
or your
to. Your
sheriff.
Yes, your sheriffs too. Well,
this is why, what's his name? I was going to say Benny Johnson because I'm looking right at his screen right now because he's up on the thing. But I'm talking about Grady Judd.
Grady Judd
was like, you can try this in Florida if you want to.
Try that in a small town.
We don't suggest that you do, because not only will you have, alligators and pythons and bears and jaguars, panthers after you.
Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Well, it happened yesterday. Trump said the I word, insurrection, of course, talking about Chicago. Take a listen.
Mr. President, can we talk about Portland for a second? Are you planning to invoke the Insurrection Act? And that would be, a very long-standing law that's been on the books.
Yeah, well, it's been invoked before, as you know. If you look at Chicago, Chicago's a great city where there's a lot of crime. And if the governor can't do the job, we'll do the job. It's all very simple. They probably had 50 murders in Chicago over the last 5, 6, 7 months. Many people were shot. And then the governor gets up and he says, well, we can handle it. They can't handle it. They don't know what they're doing. The mayor is grossly incompetent. He's at a 4% approval rating in Chicago. He's at a 4%, lowest approval rating, lower than even de Blasio had, which is hard to believe in New York. I thought de Blasio would always maintain that record, but the Chicago guy is even lower. So I think that we want safe cities. If you look at D.C., you would right now, Mark, you could go out, take your family out to dinner, you could walk right down the middle of the street. There is no crime in D.C. When I got here, this place was a raging hellhole where people would come from Canada, people would come from other places and end up getting shot. Nobody's being shot. The National Guard's been unbelievable. I mean, they are strong, tough guys.
Well, he goes on to talk about he would use the Insurrection Act in Chicago if he has to. But I think the intent is to just give the federal resources that they can. But this was interesting, Allie, and being a Chi-Town girl myself, gangs are gangs are nothing new, right? And when you take the L train anywhere from like Sheridan on down to Chicago O'Hare, you're going to go into many different jurisdictions gang-wise, so you better be wearing neutral colors. This has always been how it is in Chicago. But I had no idea. Kash Patel is about to tell us the percentage of residents in Chicago that are gang members. Take a listen.
Taking the juggernaut that is demolishing the weaponization of law enforcement and bringing it to places like Chicago. When I was there today with Todd, we learned that the Chicago city streets have 110,000 gang members. That's right. You heard me right. They had 1,200 shootings this year alone, 360 homicides. When politicians choose to side with those metrics and not their citizenry, thank God we have President Trump and this Department of Justice and this FBI going in there and crushing violent crime. And President Trump sent us into these cities quietly to set the stage, to set up for the National Guard, to see the success that we saw in Washington, D.C., in Memphis. The FBI has been leading the charge in every single one of these streets because we know how to gather ground-level intelligence, and we know how to put handcuffs on the bad guys, and we know that we have the backing of this administration. And most importantly, the agents at the FBI know that they have the backing of the American people and their government.
That's roughly 5% of the population. Chicago has they're estimating 2.5 million people, so 110,000 in gangs. It's 5% of your population that's the ones we know of. Like those are the ones that because a lot of them kind of hide in the shadows. You don't really know. That is not civilized.
And Democrats want you to fund their medical care for when they get shot. And they have to go to the hospital.
And they're out there bailing them out of jail when it's crazy. They won't keep them in jail. So
breaking news, former FBI Director James Comey is scheduled to appear in court for his federal felony charges on January 5th, 2026.
Okay, so he's due back in January 5th? Okay, wonderful. Well, I want to hear what this Chicago resident had to say, because this is kind of what I'm hearing from family and others. Take a listen.
Black people in Chicago, let's get this clear for the record so nobody is confused, right? In 2020 and 2021, when Democrats, specifically Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, flooded Chicago with the illegal, undocumented criminal invaders, y'all didn't have nothing to say about that, right? When the mayor, Lori Lightfoot, gave them benefits, millions, prepaid EBT cards with $10,000 on it, prepaid Visa cards, 6 months worth of free rent, free health care, free child care, y'all were okay with that. And then you all continue to be okay with it by going out and voting for Kamala Harris to continue what she was doing with the open borders, right? Now that ICE is there to actually do something about it, right? With Trump's mandate, now you all are boohoo, whining and crying, complaining that ICE is coming to black neighborhoods. What the hell is wrong with y'all? Where else are they supposed to go when that's where y'all allowed them to go? You see, Democrats didn't put these illegals in Oak Brook or Oak Park or Evanston in any of the white neighborhoods, yet you got the white liberals downtown protesting to keep those people there because they know that they're in black neighborhoods. And y'all goofy. Y'all falling for this. Y'all voted for Kamala Harris, and now y'all are protesting ICE coming to black neighborhoods to remove these criminal invaders. Y'all are calling ICE racist for coming to the black neighborhoods. Well, why are they coming to the black neighborhoods? Because that's where you all allowed them to go. So tell me you a goofy Democrat plantation slave without telling me you a goofy Democrat plantation slave.
Oh my gosh. Allie, 1,000% correct. And I'm thinking like, you're right, they're not in Schaumburg. They're not in Naperville. Yeah. So is ICE going into black neighborhoods because ICE is racist, or is ICE going into black neighborhoods because that's where they put all the criminal illegals?
And they want to make black neighborhoods safer because President Trump loves all Americans.
All people. It's not a good day for the left.
I think that needs to be like how we start the show.
It would have set a different tone. You would have been much more relaxed.
Just a reminder, this is where we're at. And this is why we're seeing what we're seeing. In case you forgot. On today's segment of In Case You Forgot.
On this day's segment of You Can't Make This Up. Definitely. Well, we're going to pivot a little bit to talk about the CIA. The head of the CIA has just come out, John Ratcliffe, and said he confirms that then Vice President Biden, former President Biden, intervened to bury a report exposing corruption and a pay-to-pay scheme where? With his family in Ukraine. Let's take a listen.
When are we going to learn about the other 6? Who are the others? Well, since you asked, I will tell you. Joe Biden's son, Joe Biden's brother, Joe Biden's brother's wife, Hunter Biden's girlfriend or Beau Biden's widow, however you wanted to write that, Hunter Biden's ex-wife, Hunter Biden's current wife, and 3 children of the president's son and the president's brother. So we're talking about a grandchild. That's odd. Most people that work hard every day, his grandchild doesn't get a wire from a foreign national or anything like that. So that'll conclude our.
And what they're saying is that this was, if you remember, this is why they came down so hard on Trump, saying he didn't have a perfect phone call with the Ukrainian leader. Biden removed a Ukrainian official who uncovered these crimes. Remember, there's that really synonymous, famous soundbite where Biden's saying, I told him, remove this guy or I'm going to withhold the aid as vice president to your country. I mean, there's some shady stuff. It's crazy. And I told you so. And this is why we're in Ukraine. This is why we had more Ukrainian flags waving in Congress on a single day than we've ever had American flags. It's crazy. It's crazy. I feel like I've said that this whole show.
There are a lot of times where we do this show where we're like, just, you know what I mean? Like, we're in flow and we just go and go and go and hype and like all the things. And then there are these shows where we just look at each other and be like, I couldn't have said it any better. Y'all know where I stand with this. Like, I don't know how more Americans aren't upset at my level. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's those days where you're just gonna like take the mic off. Like I can't. It's burning. It's burning people.
I
Grab
can't
an
today.
extinguisher. Like
It's real hot right now, and
you ever
I'm
play
not
that game?
talking about 93 degrees in October.
You ever play that game hot and cold where like you're trying to find something, you're like, how close are we to uncovering things that we told you about years ago?
I think a lot of us, our issue is that where is the accountability? Like, I get it. There's a mountain of things that our DOJ needs to get through. 1000% understand. However, we need to start seeing something roll because we're at a precipice, and I don't think we can hold on much longer. We're like,
I hear you. Well, and I know we're going to kind of skip over it for the time being, just for the sake of time. But General Flynn's had some comments on that, and even some comments about the Charlie Kirk assassination and what we don't know. People are coming to the conclusion of a lot of things. He's partly saying, I would like to see Kash Patel or somebody come front and center and say, hold that. We're still doing an investigation. There's a lot we don't know. There's a lot we're still uncovering, including some of the foreign money that has come into our country to fund these extremist groups. So there will probably be other people that will be charged. I want to try to leave on somewhat of a high note. So maybe we can let's start with this. Let's show this video of what continues to happen with the Turning Point USA's college campus tour. Take a look. That is Montana State University. And what's amazing is that other people in the movement, the conservative independent journalist movement, have picked up the mantle, right? So you've seen Megyn Kelly, you've seen Tucker Carlson. We've had other there in Montana State University. It's actually Vivek Ramaswamy that was showing up. So they continue it's over a crowd of over 4,000 at a state university. That's pretty decent.
Yeah, and they were screaming, Charlie, Charlie, Charlie. It was really cool. And then every now and then USA breaks out. So it's really awesome to see. And these are those moments, right? Like we have that contrast between, oh my God, the world's burning down and that's all black pill. And then you have this side where it's like all hope for the new and next generation.
We have to give you something. Yeah.
I know. I hope there's a middle ground somewhere where like, you know what I mean? Like, I hope there's an America for them to want to rejuvenate, because by the looks of things, we're crumbling at the moment.
Help. And that's what I've loved with even some of the work that we've done with Turning Point here locally, is that you do see that with these young people that they want to have something to save. And that's really why we're doing what we're doing, too. Promises made, promises kept. I want to make sure we highlight just exactly what President Trump is doing when CNN has to swallow their own propaganda that they've tried to shove down your throat and realize, oh, it's not working. Trump's really doing exactly what he said he would do. Take a look.
Trump, you go back to October of 2024, 44% of the American public viewed him favorably. Now, despite everything, look at this, 43%, which is well within the margin of error of that 44%. And here's the thing to keep in mind. This was good enough to get Trump reelected back in 2024. And Donald Trump is basically at the same point here right now, which I think would surprise a lot of folks, especially a lot of folks on the left who very much disagree with a lot of what Donald Trump has done.
But what do you see is underneath that and driving that? Why is he basically the same?
Okay, to quote the esteemed caller Dennis Green, the former head coach in the National Football League, Donald Trump is who the voters thought he was. What are we talking about here? Well, is Trump doing what he promised in the 2024 campaign? Yes, 52%. The majority of Americans say that Donald Trump is doing what he promised, compared to 48% who said no. So what essentially is going on here is the voters expected all of this from Donald Trump. The majority did, and that is why his favorable rating, simply put, has not really moved all that much compared to where it was a year ago. Trump is basically doing what the American people thought that he was going to do. Indeed, if you look at the numbers, Trump has basically the steadiest favorable rating this much through a presidency of any president on record. And it's basically where he was a year ago, good enough to get him reelected.
And I can just see that there are some on the far left that are sitting there scratching their heads right now, like, because this is the first time they're hearing that 52% of the country expected this. That we're not shocked that he is who he thought he was.
Have you ever seen that meme of like the roller coaster and like the girl is like her hands are all the way up and the guy's on the other side going like this? And it's like the girl with her hands up is like third time Trump voters and the guy who's like white knuckling it is like first time Trump supporters. Like, just buckle in. We got you.
It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
It's coming, you guys. Our government only works if we work it. We have to apply our political pressure at the appropriate political pressure points in order to move the needle forward, in order for us to completely save and rejuvenate and maintain our sovereignty and our freedom here in America. And that requires you to be the sharpest tip of the spear in your circle of influence. Guys, don't just be on the laptop.
Yeah, exactly. Do you want a baby video? Do you want an AI baby video?
Sure.
Do you? People, do you want a baby AI video? I don't know. It's kind of cute. We can watch a little bit of it. It'll give you some laughter. This is from when Trump visited the Navy for the 250th birthday. Take a look.
And as I told our generals and admirals last Tuesday, we are getting wokeness the hell out of our military. It's gone. It's really gone. I don't know that it was ever really here. I think some of the top people had it. I knew a few of them that were major losers. But they were losers. Unlike our great general, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who may be here, Dan Raisin Cane. You know Raisin Cane? When I heard his name, I said, that's the guy I'm looking for. But he's been an amazing warrior, and, he was the one headed up the attack on Iran. And everything he's touched has turned out great. He knocked out ISIS. So I was told it would take 4 to 5 years to beat ISIS. When he came on board, he did it in 4 weeks. We knocked him out in 4 weeks. 100% of the ISIS caliphate. Is Dan Kane here?
I love that. I love that. Raising Cane.
I love it.
Very cute.
So awesome.
Well, at least hopefully you were able to laugh a little bit. But yes, we are in serious times, Allie. You're right that we need to be active and not sitting back expecting that Trump's going to do it all. So we've got more for you.
He's just the tourniquet.
Isn't that what Chad says all the time?
Yep.
He's just the tourniquet. He's not. Yeah, you're right. Just to stop the bleeding. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining Open Mic today. We've got a whole show planned for you tomorrow plus Friday. So make sure that you subscribe so you get the little notification. Usually a few minutes before we go live, it says Open Mic's about to go live. Make sure you subscribe and share. Allie, it's been a blast. I don't know how we do it.
All right, y'all. We love you. We'll catch you tomorrow, 10 a.m. See you soon. Have a blessed day.
Bye.
What do you do when the gas is high?